My history with PRS goes back to, I believe, 1990 or 91 when I got my first CE bolt-on. Fell in love with it right away.
Alex Lifeson is a well-known Canadian songwriter, musician, record producer, guitarist, actor, and film score composer. This artist is best known as the co-founder of the Canadian rock band Rush. He's also the guitarist of this band. With the band Rush, Alex played acoustic and electric guitar, while other string instruments such as bouzouki, mandolin, and mandola. While most of his work in music has been with this band, Alex also has contributed a body of work outside of Rush. In 1996, Alex, along with his bandmates Neil Peart and Geddy Lee, were made Officers of the Orders of Canada. And the most interesting part is that this trio was the first rock band to be honored with this title as a group. Alex was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a part of Rush in 2013. Moreover, Rolling Stone ranked him at number 98 on their list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time.
And I was playing almost exclusively PRS in that decade. I mean, I still had my Strat and a couple of other guitars, but
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Alexander Zivanojnovic, but is also known as Lifeson, Alex, and Big Al. He was born on August 27, 1953 in Fernie, British Columbia, Canada, making him 67 at the time of this production. He stands at 1.83 meters or 6 feet tall. Alex is also a painter and a licensed aircraft pilot, and the star sign of this musician is Virgo. The stage name Lifeson is a semi-literal translation of Alex's surname, Zivanojnovic. It's a Serbian name which roughly means son of life. However, Alex has not legally changed his name. Did you know that the birthday of this musician is also the death anniversary of Stevie Ray Vaughan? Artists such as Paul Gilbert, John Petrucci, Steven Wilson, Dennis D'Amour, and John Wesley have all cited Alex as an influence. Back in the year 1984, Guitar Player magazine named him the best rock guitarist. The color of Alex's eyes is blue, while his hair is light blonde. He's also a smoker and weighs around 95 kilograms. Back in 2003, Alex, along with his son and daughter-in-law, were arrested at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Naples, Florida. Back in the 1970s, Alex was dating Charlene, his first girlfriend. In October 1970, their first son was born, who was named Justin. And then in 1975, the pair got married. Lifeson's second son, Adrian, was born in 1977, and he's also involved in music.
I had probably 4 or 5 different models, mostly the CE bolt-ons. I really liked those the best.
This great guitarist was born to Serbian immigrants Melania and Nenad in Fernie, British Columbia. Raised in Toronto, the first exposure of Alex to formal musical training came in the form of the viola. When Alex was 12 years old, he played the guitar for the first time. His father gave him his first guitar as a Christmas gift, which was a 6-string Kent classical acoustic. Later, this guitar was replaced by a Japanese electric model. Alex was influenced by Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Steve Hackett, Alan Holdsworth, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, and Pete Townshend during his adolescent years. This musician met John Rutsey in school back in 1963, and since they were both interested in music, the two friends decided to form a band. Let me also tell you that Lifeson was primarily a self-taught guitarist. The only formal instruction came from a high school friend who taught Alex classical guitar lessons back in 1971. Alex started his career in music by forming the band The Projection. His neighbor John Rutsey began experimenting on a rented drum kit, and in 1963 they eventually decided to create a group. As a result, The Projection was formed, which became Rush in 1969. Jeff Jones was recruited as the original bassist and vocalist of this band in 1968, and Geddy Lee assumed this role soon after. Starting in 1997, the band was on hiatus due to personal tragedies in the life of Neil Peart, and Alex also hadn't picked up a guitar for at least 1 year. The first manager of this band was Ray Daniels. After the first album of Rush was released, John left the band due to health problems, and Neil replaced him. In 1975, they released the second album titled Fly By Night. This album was a huge success, and it ranked on top of the charts in the United States as well as Canada. Rush continued to release several successful albums, including Rush Clockwork Angels, which peaked at number 1 on the Canadian Albums Chart. It was also ranked number 2 on the Billboard 200 chart. Vapor Trails was the first Rush album since the 1970s. Back in 2015, Rush staged a final major tour after 4 decades of performances across the world. The first major work of this guitarist in music outside Rush was the solo project Victor. This album was released in 1996, and Alex's son Adrian and his wife also contributed to the album. The artist has also worked with several other musicians and bands such as Platinum Blonde, Tiles, Lawrence Gowan, and I, Mother Earth. As a member of Rush, Alex has been nominated for a Grammy Award 7 times, and the band has won 1 Grammy. Alex has won 3 Juno Awards during his career. In 1985, Alex made a guest appearance on the Platinum Blonde album Alien Shores. And in 1973, Alex made his film debut when he appeared as himself under his birth name in the Canadian documentary film called Come On Children. The musician has also made several appearances on the Canadian mockumentary franchise Trailer Park Boys, and in 2003, Alex appeared in an episode named Closer to the Heart. Then in 2008, he, along with other members of Rush, played Tom Sawyer in an episode of The Colbert Report. Next year, the band appeared as themselves in the comedy I Love You Man. Alex Lifeson has also penned forwards to 3 books, including Behind the Stage Door, Geddy Lee's Big Beautiful Book of Bass, and Shredder's The Oral History of Speed Guitar, and more.
Custom built one model with piezo in it. That was the first piezo guitar that I had that was so effective at that time.
Alex has made his $35 million fortune with his albums released with the bands, as well as those which he released as a solo artist. On average, Lifeson makes around $0.8 million each year. Apart from music, this successful guitarist co-owns the Orbit Room, a restaurant and a bar. Alex's restaurants are located in Toronto, Canada. The album titled 2112 helped the members of Rush earn $3 million. Moreover, they made more than $4 million from the sales of an album series known as Moving Pictures. Alex has also played back vocals and keyboards during live performances. His total net worth is $35 million. Alex owns and has owned several houses over the past years. The guitarist owned a beautiful home in Toronto, Canada, and in 2003, he purchased a condominium at Bay Colony in Naples, Florida. Alex paid $2 million for this house. He also owned a French-style mansion in Richmond Hill. The house was built in the 1980s for Alex, and it originally had a recording studio, a living room, high ceilings, kitchen, a Juliet balcony, dining area, and 5 bedrooms. This property covers 2.5 acres and included 10 parking spaces. Alex Lifeson likely owns the following cars: a Mercedes-Benz 380 SEC, an Aston Martin, a BMW Z8, an MGB.